Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Hi, I'm Jamie Moraga, CEO of Franklin Revere and author of Revered, The Power of Female Leadership. And I have the honor of being the guest host of a special edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community podcast, the nation's longest running community podcast, now in its 20th year. We are live at the Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial Annual Veterans Day celebration. The Spotlight on the Community podcast is brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, a company that has been supporting important causes in San Diego County for more than 6 decades. We are with Nathaniel Donnelly, trustee of Mount Soledad Memorial Association. Good morning, Nathaniel. Welcome to the Spotlight on the Community.
Hi, good morning, Jamie. Nice to meet you and be here as well.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and then we'll go into how you got involved as a trustee here at the association.
All right. So I joined the Marine Corps out of high school on the Yellow Footprints about 10 days after high school graduation out of Chino, California, so not too far away from here. Guaranteed infantry, recruiter's dream contract. Went to Hawaii for about 3.5 years, stationed at Kaneohe Bay with 1st Battalion, 3rd Marines, which doesn't exist anymore. Now it's like the 3rd Littoral Combat Regiment or something like that. Went to embassy duty for a couple years. I was on post in San Jose, Costa Rica when 9/11 happened.
Okay.
And so being an infantryman and about ready to be finished with that program, they kind of took me off early and put me back in the grunts right up the street here at Camp Pendleton with 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. Obviously, that's late 2001, early 2002. Spent about a year with them, went on deployment, and then in 2003, we all know, 2002, Afghanistan, and then 2003, Iraq. So I deployed with 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines over in Iraq in 2003 with the invasion.
Wow. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And happy 250th anniversary for the Navy and Marine Corps. So how did you get involved with the Mount Soledad Memorial Association and then as a trustee?
All right. So when I was at San Diego State, so I transferred to San Diego State out of San Diego City College in 2006. As soon as I got there, I think it was the summer before classes even started, I got a couple of vets together and we founded the Student Veteran Organization at San Diego State.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That was 2006. We kind of were really lucky with the university president back then, Stephen Weber.
Yes.
Who just kind of said, hey guys, what do you want? I'm going to pave the way. You guys do what you need. Really big supporter of veterans. We were also lucky enough to get some San Diego Union Tribune articles, some other local articles, things like that. I think we were even on national news at one point. So the word really got out about what we were doing at San Diego State. One of your guests that's going to be on right after me, I think Miles and I were just talking about this, about how San Diego State San Diego, the city, is just kind of a place, especially back then before any of these programs existed, where you can find a niche and really make that niche grow because the need was there at the time.
Absolutely.
Specifically with veterans education. Mm-hmm. And if you know, 2006 was before the post 9/11 GI Bill came out.
Okay.
So 2 years before. So in 2008, some other colleges around the nation were kind of getting wind of what we were doing in San Diego State. They were doing some other stuff at University of Michigan, Columbia University, kind of the same thing. So we decided to create that umbrella organization for the nation, which now is the Student Veterans of America.
Wow.
So in 2008, lobbying up on the Hill in Washington, D.C. and things like that, we were able to bring about the post 9/11 GI Bill with Senators Webb and Hagel. So we were a key player in that as well.
Yeah, you're in the forefront.
Absolutely. So that's kind of, in my opinion, our biggest accomplishment, because as the Montgomery GI Bill was after World War II, the post 9/11 GI Bill now is kind of a generational educational change for veterans, which will really help the nation in the future.
No, that's fantastic. And so you're tied to the association.
Right. So short story long, because of the work that we had done here, the Mount Soledad Memorial Association got wind of what we were doing. Trustee is invite only. So they said, hey, you might be a good candidate to be a trustee here. And so I put my name in the hat and they accepted me. So that was 2016.
Wow. So you're coming up on almost 10 years as a trustee.
Yes, ma'am.
So how has your experience been since you have joined as a trustee in 16? So you're the evolution in 10 years from a trustee perspective.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. The leadership has changed a lot. We had great leaders before, and now we have great leaders again with Neil, as everybody knows, and the memorial has, he's an old Marine Corps Sergeant Major, so things have gotten a little bit more linear up here, and, the memorial has expanded. I don't know by how many times, but it's definitely bigger, much bigger than it was when I came in as a trustee. I mean, we're running out of space. We even physically expanded the memorial, already running out of space. So there's some big plans to make it, to acquire some more land, things like that, which I'm sure has been talked about. So it's just really become a really legitimate organization. Not that it wasn't before, but before it was more grassroots. Now I think we've really got kind of a focus on what we're doing for the future and, actually doing that in a way that will be sustainable.
That's great. And then, so how can the community help support what you all are trying to do and how you're trying to move the association into the future? Yeah,
I mean, if you are quote unquote a person of capacity, those donations are big.
Yes.
That's what drives everything. That's what is able to make us grow the memorial, to maintain the memorial, to hire the people that it takes to do that. There's only 5 people, actual professionals that get paid, to work in the office of the memorial. And to manage something like this, I mean, I think we had 70 some odd volunteers here today. Wow. So it really is a volunteer organization. And if you're, like me and you're not a person of capacity, but you can afford a cup of coffee every now and again, memberships are where it's at. So if you go on the soledadmemorial.org, there's an option there to become a member for, $5 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
And, that paves the way for maintaining the memorial as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And very much needed. And I think that giving those levels to everybody, then people can participate where they feel they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
How does the memorial foster connection and healing for veterans, families, and also the broader community?
Well, I will talk from personal experience.
Yeah.
I have, probably half a dozen friends up here that are not with us anymore. These are plaques that their family has brought up, other plaques that I have personally made happen.
Okay, fantastic.
About half and half. So I know when my parents came out here to visit me, this is one of the places I took them. And this was before I was a trustee. I was just a student in college.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, we need to come check out this place and look at Doc Johnson over here, who was the first person I knew who was killed in Iraq, whose plaque was up here. And then, so I was able to show him Doc Johnson. And then local family, Eric Silva, who was also killed in 2003, brought his family up here and we dedicated his plaque. And since then, we have, we just did my battalion, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. We did them for a Memorial Day.
Okay.
So we have a double plaque for 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, who I served with in Iraq, and they have a big presence. All the people that I'm talking about right now, we're all part of that 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines.
Oh my gosh. So can you tell a little bit of background on the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines?
Well, when I was part of the organization, we were known as the most decorated battalion in the Marine Corps. This was at the beginning of, Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't believe that has changed, because I know the things that they did after I left were, just as amazing as before. You got Sergeant Abate up there when we did, his legend for the Navy Cross. When we did the Memorial Day service for 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, we had then platoon commander Tom Schumann, who was one of the speakers, who was Sergeant Abate's platoon leader, I believe. And then he became the CO, I think, of one of the companies there. Just having that history, the story, obviously they were after me, but there was a story before them, which was my generation, and then even before them. I mean, a couple names in our chain of command: General Mattis,
yes,
Colonel Dunford,
yep.
Colonel Mundy. That was our chain of command during the invasion. So this is just an extraordinary unit, and I'm very happy that they're well represented up here at Mount Soledad.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel? You know some of the people that are up here, you have a personal family connection. Mm-hmm. When you come up here, like, what is your, how do you feel when you come up here, and how can you share that, or how can we then get people who haven't even been up here, that live in this community, that haven't even come up here? How do we draw them up here? How do we get them to Mount Soledad? Well,
one thing that I think we market pretty well is we're unique because we tell each veteran's story, albeit it's a small one and has to fit on a plaque, but their story of their service is on the plaque. So when we have our docents up here and people come up here who've never been here, I mean, I've been up here when, visitors from China or Ireland or, all around the world come up here and they look around, we explain to them, hey, this is the history of the United States. We've got Civil War, Revolutionary War plaques,
Wow,
I think we have 3 Revolutionary War plaques up here.
That's amazing.
How does it make us feel? It's like, just that it's hallowed ground. Not that there were battles fought here, but the stories of the battles that took place throughout the history of the United States, they're all up here. Every battle is represented. There's no, crazy battle that is not represented up here. I mean, we have 6,000 plaques or something like that up here. So, you could hear something like my grandfather took part in the Battle of Riva Ridge in Italy.
Yes.
Who knows about that? Nobody, but the story's up here.
Yeah.
So that's how it makes me feel. It's just a place to learn the military history of the United States, all around the globe. Every conflict that took place, it's all up here, and the people who took part in those conflicts.
Yeah, and it's living history.
Absolutely.
It's living history. So the community, if you haven't come up here, you need to come up here and check it out. It's just amazing.
You did mention one thing I want to hit on. You said living history. More than half, and I don't know the exact percentage, but 60 to 70% of the veterans on these walls are actually still living. So it is living history.
It is.
That's a...
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this place even more special, is that you're honoring, living as well as deceased veterans and their stories.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's just something that you can't really find in a lot of places. So this place is really special. So Veterans Day. So you got a big ceremony coming up shortly. What does Veterans Day mean to you? And then the ceremony that the association's putting on today for our veterans. Yeah, Veterans Day to me it's a celebration. It's not Memorial Day. It's Veterans Day. So it's a celebration of everybody who served. And we hear all the time, thank you for your service, but I think this is the day to actually celebrate that. And it's, sure, everybody likes to hear thank you for your service, but it's kind of like it's our birthday. But I'm a Marine, so it's kind of overshadowed by the Marine Corps birthday. But I know, because that's coming up too. Yeah, so I'm trying to speak on behalf of all veterans here. But it's a big weekend for us, and now we're celebrating San Diego's history of veterans with the Navy and Marine Corps and their 250th birthdays respectively up here today. So should be a great
event.
That's fantastic. And as we close out our session here, is there anything you wanted to share with the audience before we close out?
I think I would just like to reiterate on those little $5 memberships, or if you can afford more, really help us out, help us maintain, grow, tell these stories in perpetuity. I mean, anything you can do helps.
Oh, that's fantastic. Absolutely. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community podcast. I'm Jamie Moraga. I'm sitting in for Drew. We trust you have enjoyed this interview. Thank you, Nathaniel, for joining us. Nathaniel Donnelly, trustee, Mount Soledad Memorial Association, and happy Veterans Day and happy Marine Corps birthday.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Nice to meet you.
All right.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.